So thank you very much to invite us. It's a pleasure to be here. I think Janique comes regularly, but it's the first time for me, so thank you. I'm Laurent Guignard, as you said, from RTS. This is the French part of the Swiss Radio Television Corporation. And we are working in a service that the name is Data and Archives. So I think we are at a good place. And I'm working as a team manager, but also as a documentalist. So I'm very interested to win time for my team and for myself. So I'll let you just say a few words.
Hi, so I'm Janique Sonderegger, like Laurent from the RTS. I've been working there for 10 years as a documentalist, and I'm an information technology specialist and worked on several projects about AI and machine learning, like the speaker recognition, the facial recognition, and more of how we can implement those technologies in everyday use in the archive. And so, yeah, that's it.
So today, with Janique, we will present you how we use artificial intelligence to index international news video transmitted by EBU. I think the majority knew it. So let's go. First of all, let me present this activity of identification, indexing, and archiving. We are working on the EBU newsfeed that you may know. And there are around 100 items for a day. That's a big amount. Up, wrong side. This is the way we work in a database. First of all, we import metadata from the EBU dub sheet, and this action creates the assets. So you see the button import. It's all in French. Sorry, nobody's perfect. Here you can see the data we received automatically in the top of the asset. And below you see the work we do, we still do manually. So we make a title in French. It's named Titre Développé. And we also make a brief commentary of the content of the images that you saw, commentaire image. And then on this slide, you can see the summary we do, which answers the questions who, when, what, where, and how, and which includes all the terms useful for the search. So, what are the objectives of this activity? Is to provide editorial advice for the journalist, make choice in archiving to enrich the documentary resources, because we don't archive everything. It would make a lot of noise. And this work finally is sold to a customer. Nevertheless, this activity is very time consuming. And as you can imagine, it's very tedious. So we would like to save time to focus on higher value activities, such as exploring agency collections that offer illustrative image. For example, we check the stock shots and the profiles from IFP that are very useful. So we search a way to use artificial intelligence to write titles and summaries in French based on the EBU dub sheets that you can see here. It's the scripts of the EBU exchange. And I will let now Janique introduce you which platform you use to do this work.
So, at RTS, we have a platform that's called Baker Street. After the presentation of Gerhard yesterday, I saw lots of similarity with their editor. So it's like an intelligence artificial platform that is developed in-house by a development team from the RTS. It can process text, audio, and video. And we can do several things with it. For example, tagging videos or radio material. We can translate and we can transcribe. It's really useful for the journalists for the publication that they do on the website of the RTS. We interact with this platform with prompts. We can create our own prompts and really specify what we need. And we can choose between several large language models. We can test a bit of everything. They are pre-installed, so there's like 6 versions of Gemini, the Anthropic Claude, Llama, and the Azure one. Of course, the use of this platform is governed by the RTS ethical charter that tells us how we should use AI, and we have to use it. So it stipulates that the tool that we create must enhance the skills of professionals. It should not replace human expertise, that we can only process reliable sources on those tools. And that's not really relevant for our use case, but it's really relevant for TV. Every text that are generated must be checked by a human before publication. Because we don't publish really directly for the archive, we're not really concerned by that, but if we wanted to publish it on the website or things like that, it would be a must. For our use case, we worked with the development team. We're one of many stakeholders. It's also used by some use cases that are outside of RTS. And after test and everything, we chose to use the LLM Anthropic Claude 3.5 for our use case. What's really important too is everything to do with data protection, of course. So we keep the data in-house to ensure data protection, even though we never process confidential data in this tool. The LLM installations are RGPD compliant, and the clouds are either in Switzerland or for AWS in Germany, so it's staying in Europe. And I let Laurent explain how really we prompt on this.
So, thank you. Our method is based on the RTBF technique, RTBF like the Belgian television. In French, that means a role, le ton, le besoin, a need, and the format. And you see here our 2 prompts, one for the titles and one for the summary. First of all, you can choose different language models, as Janique said. For now, we use Claude and Anthropic, but tomorrow we don't know. It may change. So I give you some precision on these prompts. We give this instruction to Claude. I translate because for you it's nothing. A role, you are a librarian in an international newsroom. A need, you aim to write summaries in French of news reports in English that I will provide you in free text. You will have to follow the following structure, instruction, and constraint. As you can see, we specify several formatting constraints, and we add examples of expected results. We can also add a context documentary if necessary. I must notice that the prompting requires many iterations and testing, but sometimes adding new instructions cause some uncontrolled effects. So it's many iteration work, and it is the heart of our work in the prompting. Here you can see some examples of the result in our database. A very important thing is that these titles produced by IR and summaries arrive in a working field and not in the final field of the title and the summary. So the job of the documentalist is still to verify, to correct these summaries and titles, and to copy them when they have checked and publish them in the final fields. It's very important. We still insist on checking this information produced by Claude. I must say something. As you have understood, prompting is a human work that is strategic. However, the process between the different applications have been automated. So Janique will show you how.
Oh, I'll show you how, but quickly and very not technical. So, so what we did, before you saw the button that we have to import the DOP sheet and create the item in the database. So we just add the button at the same place, but it's like create the item with AI metadata. It's a human that have to click on the button to import, and he can choose to, right now on our database, we can choose to import with AI or without. It's not mandatory to use the AI possibility. Then it launched the process to create the item. So I did a small, really easy diagram to show it. So the documentalist launched the process, and then it created an XML document that corresponds to our import format. In this XML, we have data that come from the DOP sheet, the generic metadata, like the date, the sources, and things like that. And the process of creating those, the title and the summary by using Baker Street is launched. So there's two processes that are launched with AI. And when we retrieve those two metadata, we insert them in this XML, and it's this one that creates the item in the archive database, and it looks like we saw before with the title and the summary in the fields that are designed for AI data. So that's it. So maybe Laurent will show you more example and that of what can be created with this process.
So let's take a look at the results now. I repeat, no title or summary is published in your user database with prior verification. The result is satisfactory overall, but a minority of titles and summaries fully meet our expectations. Here you can see two top good results. And the first item is about the electricity that is coming back in Portugal after the blackout. And the second one, we'll see later, is about two French searchers that are using insects for biological agricultural transition. So in these two examples, the title corresponds to the images, which is very important. The length is correct. The search terms are present. And the structure is right. And finally, proper names correspond to our preferences. This is the second one on the French searchers. You can see the text of the DOP sheet, the script, and then the result below in French. But it's quite good. These two examples you see results that are quite good. Quite good. But in the first one, the geographical term is not the preferred one in our thesaurus. It's mentioned can unis, and in the our thesaurus we have can unis, small sig, but at the search is important. In the second one, the subject are the American custom duties, and the important term American is missing. So it's a problem. So we must add it before publish these results. So we must check every time if the terms to search are present or not. Other example of quite good. The first example is a subject of a manager of the society Meta in front of the American Senate Commission, treating about Facebook. And here, this is the term Meta that is missing. It's a pity. And in the second one, the contextual information about Emmanuel Macron is creating search noise because Emmanuel Macron doesn't appear in the item. So it takes information beside, and the intelligence artificial is noting it, and it's making noise for the search. So we must correct and comment dit enlever? To remove the final phrase. And finally, the worst cases. The images do not correspond to the contextual information. Here we are told that Giorgia Meloni says something very specific to GD events, and in fact we don't hear it at all. So it's a problem. And more serious, there are these famous artificial hallucinations. And there you can learn that Donald Trump is now the ex-president of the United States. So I'll let you understand what... To give you some quantitative results, we have 20% that are okay, ready to publish, 60% to correct before publication, and finally 20% are very bad results. And then I let Janique give you a few conclusions.
So, to conclude, this presentation, we would like to return to the theme of this conference, which is AI and human collaboration partner in archiving. So, yes, of course, that's the answer. And we are partners. He's, in our use case, an assistant, but we are, and we need to be partners. In our practical case, we save about 1 hour of work for an 8-hour day on this activity, and we saw that we're less tired at the end of the day, because it's really tiring to check those newsfeed and to translate it and everything. There we have proposition in French, and we don't have to do the translation. So we're less tired. Yeah, it's good.
It's important.
What we saw also is that this AI import is really useful. For example, in the morning when you begin the activity, because we have the news from all night that are there, and we can import them directly with AI. Then when the day goes on and we do it on the flow, it's less important that we have this possibility, but in the morning or after lunch break, it's like really, really useful to already have some metadata. We also have, what we saw is that it can create latency with the database, because it's launched a huge process behind, and then we have to import a big amount of data. So we're still trying to see if there's always latency, only sometimes. So it's still an ongoing evaluation. Of course, we have to follow the RTS charter, ethical charter. So we check what's created by AI. So we do lots of, we complete the proposition, we improve them. And that's not very surprising because we created this tool to be an assistant and not to replace us. For now, we don't plan to stop this activity. So it's really not that strange that we still have to do lots of control, and we're still early in the implementation of it. So it's more a way to do it more comfortably. Yeah, we really use the data that are generated as a base, and then we build on it to create enriched metadata. And we sourced, like Laurent said, everything that it's AI. We had to develop new skills. The prompting skills had to be learned, and it's like a new evolution maybe of the job for documentalists. We had to, this prompt took time, like Laurent said, and it was lots of iteration that were needed to build them to have an acceptable level of result. It's still an ongoing process. We still add constraints, rules, and things like that. And we update the prompts, the 2 prompts. And we still carry out tests with other LLM. Right now we choose Claude, but we don't know which one will be better in 6 months. So we still try with other LLM to compare results. And finally, we always try the archive department to be strong stakeholder in all those development because we're the final customer. And so if we want the tools to answer our needs and to meet the quality criteria that we want, we really have to express what we want and to test and to speak with the development team and to learn to speak with them. So it's really, it takes lots of resources, and we're happy if we can save some time doing activity that can be automated. And we can take this time now to help and create those tools. And really it's like an evolution, and we have to educate ourselves in those technologies. So it's really changing roles. So that's it for us.
I think I will add something as a team manager. Not really. No, I would say it's always better to learn these new technologies and undergo them. So I think at the RTS, I hope my director hear me, we have the chance to learn these new skills step by step. It's very important for my team. So we began with training speech to text, and then we create profiles for facial recognition. I think 2 years ago you presented how we did profiles for speaker recognition. And then now we are learning to prompt. So it's a very important process to go step by step that the documentalists are working with tools. I think it's very important, it's movement. So thank you.
Thank you.